Hi there, and welcome to another video. Today I wanted to do some self-care and some skin routine, and because I am going out for a walk right now, I am going to apply some sunscreen to protect my skin, and I'm going to use this sunscreen that I've used for a long time. This is Australian Gold Mineral Lotion that is non-greasy, and this is SPF 50, pretty high SPF, and the active ingredients are titanium dioxide 4% and zinc oxide 4%. This is a fully mineral sunscreen, and although it does leave a little bit of white film, as many sunscreens do, it is also very non-greasy, probably the most non-greasy sunscreen I've had. The only issue I have with this sunscreen is that it is water resistant, and because of that, it takes me forever to wash it off in the shower. So I have an open bottle right here that I already actually cut because I can't get more out. So I usually try to get as much out of the sunscreen as I can. So I'm going just to get in there with my fingers, and that's what it looks like that. And I usually apply a pretty decent coating on my skin, and you probably can see that my skin, especially here, is a bit red, and that is because I have not applied sunscreen earlier this morning as I was driving, and I have my sunroof open, so this is primarily from that. Let's get more. Okay. Now, when you apply it, it has this very gentle scent. It is not very scented at all. Very pleasant. And like I said, my favorite part is that it is non-greasy once it's completely dry. So I'm not sure if you can see the little bit whitish tint, but it is not awfully noticeable. Now, I also don't have the darkest skin either. My complexion is quite light, so for those who have darker complexion and you specifically don't want that type of veil, you probably should try it, and if you don't like it, go for just a chemical sunscreen. Now, I like mineral sunscreens because they don't really absorb too much. And so it's primarily as if you're putting on a shirt. And chemical sunscreens do absorb into your blood. So they were doing some studies regarding that. And it's not that if you use it once in a while and not on a daily basis that it's that harmful, but apparently it accumulates over time. And so I feel like sometimes I do use chemical sunscreen, but I prefer to use mineral. I also try to get like under the straps, under clothing a little bit, because as you move, clothing also moves, and sometimes you might end up getting sunburn from just that you didn't apply enough sunscreen under straps, etc. And I want to put extra on my shoulders just because I feel like I already have a bit of a burn. Not too bad yet, but I don't want it to get worse. Now I also, you see kind of like when it's on the clothing, on the darker areas, it leaves this white mark. But if you put it in the washing machine, it comes out easily. Okay, so I think my arms are good. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same thing with my legs. There's not much left in this sunscreen tube, but I want to really use it up. Now you can see this, the white coating a little bit better, hopefully. And the way mineral sunscreen works, it's basically this white coating reflects sunlight. Now it's very important to also put sunscreen on your feet, not on the bottoms necessarily if you're walking, but in the front, because you will get, if you're wearing sandals, you'll get those straps. I don't like that at all. Okay, I'm trying to get the very last. Okay, I think that's all I can get out of this tube. So I am going to switch to this new one. You can see how it's like has a little bit of a bluish tint. Not sure where it's coming from, but it's there. So with my legs, I also try to go above the clothesline, just because I want to make sure that when I move and the shorts move, I don't want. So you can see the difference on probably with the whitish tint versus like regular skin tone. Alright, let's do this one. Again, I usually apply it all over. I don't really like sunscreen, but it's one of those things that you kind of need to use. Okay. Well, when the sunscreen, this particular sunscreen dries out, you can still barely smell it, but very, very mildly. Okay, I have to tell you that it usually doesn't take me that long to put on sunscreen, but I want to make sure that I'm doing it the right way before I go out today, because I already was exposed to sun. Okay, I think I am now ready to go for my walk. I just came back from my walk and took a shower, and my next thing is to apply some moisturizer. It took me a little while to take off the sunscreen, but you can see that still there's a little bit of white coat left. I couldn't bother with removing everything. So this is a light moisturizer. It has some coconut oil, but in general it is not very oily and absorbs pretty nicely. So I'm just going to apply on my skin. As I said, I burnt my shoulders quite a bit, as you can see over here. Not terrible, but certainly not good. Now, one thing is that once you burn your skin, there's really no rescue. It can't be unburned. So the only reason I'm using moisturizers to make me feel better, it's kind of a soothing effect rather than reparative, like many creams might say. I was lucky to protect my chest and my neck, so those not gonna hurt, at least. My arms are a little bit sunburned, but not much. Just a little bit right here. And I like to use a Vino as a daily moisturizer, but this is not it. I'm using up the moisturizer that I bought a while back, and it just has too much scent. I'm not a big fan of scented moisturizers. as you can see, it absorbs real nicely. There's already very little shine. On my skin like that. And I don't use the same cream on my face, obviously. I use something different, but you can if you want to. And just a little bit more on this side. Like that. And that is my moisturizing for today. I don't use too many products just because I like my skin to breathe. So moisturizing is really the main thing that I do. And you can hear already that there's no oily residue or anything like that. It's pretty matte. There's no shine. Everything is nicely absorbed. Alright. And that is it.